Good morning, everyone. Like John said, this is Redshift, our website builder platform, which we're going to show you how to use today. Just quickly, I'm going to illustrate basically what you're going to see when you create a website. So when you create your website, this is what you're going to get. Basically, it looks like nothing right now, as you can see, but I will show you how it comes to life in a moment. This is the front end of the website, and this is the only page that is on the site when you create a site with us. This is the back end of the website, and I'll show you more of this a little bit later. For right now, I just want to focus on the front end to show you how easy it is to use Redshift. Now, when you're logged in, you get this black bar at the top that gives you a couple of extra settings, admin settings, obviously, which allows you to access your backend as well. But the important one here is this big purple one in the middle that says Enable Visual Builder. This is our front-end Visual Builder. When I click that, it's going to load up the front-end Visual Builder, which is what makes Redshift so powerful. Now, there is a tour that you can take, but I'm going to jump right in. Right, so now it's loaded up as the builder, and now as I move my mouse over, I can see that little bits and pieces pop up. Now, what those little bits and pieces are editable blocks. And I can go in, the little cog icon is what allows me to edit any single one of these. If I click on that, then you'll see that the editor pops up, and there's that content which I can go in and simply edit now. When I'm finished, I save it by clicking the tick button down the bottom here. And then right at the bottom, there's these controls as well. And when I click on that, I get a save button, which will apply whatever changes I've made. Now, what also makes Redshift so super powerful is the fact that you have a library of layouts. We have a huge library of layouts. We've got 150 different layout packs. Each one has got 7 or 8 different pages in them, which makes for a total of 1,167 layouts. So to pull in a layout, so if I wanted to change this page, let's say I want to make it, there we go, cosmetics shop today. All right, if I click on any one of these layouts, I can see all the different pages that are available to me. If I click on any one of these pages, for example, I click on the home page, I can see it here in the preview, and this allows me to, get a bit of a preview and decide if I want to use it or not. And then there's also this important little tick button that says replace existing content. In other words, I can pull in this layout and just completely replace that awful page that was there. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to say use this layout and replace the existing content. Okay, just give it a sec to load up. And there we go. And now my page will reload with that layout that I've just chosen. Come on. Just a reminder, if you've got any questions along the way, please pop them in the chat box so we can answer them now. Also, in terms of general support on our site, if you need any help at any point, we do have a forum on our main website. Right, there we go. We do have a forum on our website, our main website. If you see the top, there's a link here that says forum. If you come to our forums, you can ask us any questions you have at any time. So please use that. We're trying to build up the database there. All right, so here's all that content that that layout that I've just pulled in. I've just changed my whole front page. And now I can go in and obviously edit any one of these blocks, including the images. This is, as you can see, this is an image module. If I wanted to edit this image, I literally just click on this image. This opens up my image library. I can drop a file into here to upload it, or I can select from the existing media library to change the image to whatever I wanted. And obviously, why we call it a drag and drop builder is you can move these bits and pieces around. If you don't like the layout, you can literally just drag them. So this is a module, this is a module, and this is the column structure, but I can just literally drag this module across to that side, and I can grab this module and drag it across to this side, so that I've reversed it like that. Oh, it's got a three-way. All right, it's actually got a third column here as well. If I wanted to get rid of that, it would also be quite easy. I can just get rid of that column quite easily by editing the columns. Also, things like the padding, I could just literally click and drag to change that to make it a little bit tighter as I need. And obviously, like I said, when I'm finished with all of that, when I'm happy with how that looks, all I need to do to apply that change is to click the Save button. And now, obviously, those changes would be visible on the website, as it were. Right? John, any questions at this point so far?
Yes, a couple of questions. Greg has asked, what happens if you choose not to replace the existing content? Does it only change the style and layout?
Well, I mean, I would change the Latin, certainly. You'll find that a lot of the text is layout. What do you mean? Can you leave the images in? Yes, you can leave those images in, the ones that come.
So you had an existing page before you pulled that layout pack in.
Yeah.
Let's say you've built existing stuff and then you decide to pull in a layout pack. Will it append that layout pack to the bottom of that content, or will it replace everything?
Okay, that comes down to that little tick box, right? So let's go back there. If I go to load from library now, and I'll just go into where was it? There we go. My cosmetics shop. So I wanted to add the blog section on, for example, right? If I click on the blog layout, there's this tick box here that says replace existing content. This is the important one. So if I tick it, it's going to replace the existing content. It's going to wipe what I've got with and replace it with this. If I don't tick this, it's going to append it to the bottom, right? So if I now click on use this layout, it will append this layout to the bottom of my home page, essentially just extending the page.
Fantastic. Okay. Next question from Alex. I know we discussed this last week, but how do you get rid of the blue bar at the top of the page?
Okay, so the blue bar at the top of the page is actually in your, that you need to edit in your back end, right? So from the front end here, you can access the back end of your website. My website is called Training, right? Redshift is the main website, and when you create a site, you automatically get access to Redshift as well, so that you can access our forums mostly. The dashboard really won't look like anything at the moment. So the training is my website that I've created, right? And this dashboard would take me into my backend dashboard, as it were, right? And this is the dashboard, how it looks when you arrive on your website. And okay, just briefly, everything in WordPress is accessible through this menu on the left-hand side. Right now, the first page is obviously dashboard and home, and you've also got a link to more sites. Then there's posts, which is for blog posts or ongoing news. Media is all your pictures, videos, etc. Pages is where you will create pages for static content, home, about us, etc., etc. Comments, I suggest you leave those off. They are off by default. Projects is a custom post type, which is good for portfolios. Ninja Forms is for creating forms, contact us forms, registration forms, that kind of thing. Appearance is where you're going to do a lot of your customization, a lot of your look and feel customization. And it's actually what I'm going to show you right now. So if I click on appearance, you don't really have an option of themes. You only have one theme here, but that theme is infinitely customizable. What I'm doing, I clicked on customize just below that, and that opens up this theme customization page where I have a preview of what we have. And well, there's a bunch of settings that that you want to play with, but this blue bar at the top is under the header and navigation section. It's what we call the secondary menu bar, and here's the background color on that secondary menu bar. And this you change just by dragging a color selector to wherever you like. Let's go with a nice green today. Okay. You might want to change the drop down to be consistent. So I can copy this color and just paste it here to keep them consistent. And obviously, if I'm happy with that and I want to apply the change, I do need to click this publish button at the top. And of course, once it's published, then it'll be effective on the front end. I'm still in the editor here, so I'm also just going to exit the Visual Builder here, which should reload the page. And now you can see I've got a green bar at the top as per that change. This logo as well, you can see right now it's an animated logo. And that logo is also changed here in the theme settings. That's in your, actually, no what? It's not here. I lie. The logo is the one thing that's not here. All right. The other little fun bit for the settings here is these header elements, right? The phone number that you see up top here in the green bar, and the email address, which you also see up here in the top in the screen bar. These social media icons and the logo itself, that comes from your theme settings, right? So the theme that you use is called Divi, and that's even further down. So we were in appearance. I just want to run through the rest of it. Plugins is where you add on extra functionality to your website. We'll talk more about that later. Users is where you, obviously, if people register on your website, this is where they will appear and where you can edit them, etc., or get the data. Tools is not really anything you need to worry about. Settings, again, your default settings should be correct, but you're welcome to go through them initially at the start when you set up your website and just double check everything. Rank Math is an SEO tool, which you'll use when you start posting a whole lot of content on your website. And then finally, Divi is the theme that you use. And your theme options is something you definitely want to come and check when you first create a website. Because the very first option is, of course, logo. If you click the upload button here, it opens the media uploader. And I just need I'm just going to quickly find an image to pull in here. Sorry. Images. All right, I'm just going to bring in a static Redshift logo. So you just literally drag and drop onto this media uploader window, and then it's in the media library. Like when it's like this, you can click on the select files, and it should open up a window on your computer to select a file, but it's easier just to drag and drop into this. And obviously, once something's in the media library, you just need to select it to actually use it. And then, all right, I click the red button that says set as logo. So that changes that logo. And then the social media stuff, here's where those URLs are. So here I would paste in my Facebook profile URL and my Twitter profile URL, etc., etc. I know no one really uses G+. If you want to use G+ for LinkedIn, then just let me know and I'll give you the CSS you need to add to make that happen. And yeah, CSS you add down here as well. There's on this main page of your theme, there is a custom CSS box. And this is where you can write CSS that'll overwrite things on the front end of the website. So, for example, where that's useful is turning this Google Plus icon into a LinkedIn icon, for example. Okay, you can just put a bit of CSS here to do that. And obviously, once you're happy with everything, you want to click on Save Changes, and that'll publish the changes to the front end of the website. So you see here where we've got this animated logo. If I now refresh, we've now got a static logo there. It's that easy to change and update and etc. Obviously, there's in your customize in your appearance customized settings. There's a whole lot of settings relating to that logo, so the height, etc., etc. So if I go back here to the header and the primary menu bar, you'll see that there's a menu height and there's a logo max height, and I can make my logo a little bit bigger. I can make it fit that space, and you can see it changing in real time as I drag here. So I can see if I'm happy with it. And this goes for fonts and colors all the way across your whole website. There's huge amounts of options. There's even all the mobile styles. And what's nice is when I preview one of the mobile styles, it actually shows me what it's going to look like here in the previewer. So, and then I can set specific mobile styling. Of course, the modules as well allow for fine grain kind of mobile styling as well. In fact, maybe I should just show you that quickly. All right, did that answer the question about customizing the logo and the top bar?
I think that does. We've got a question from Greg. Before I forget about it, is there a pre-built user registration form template we could use for our sites? So I don't know if you want to come back to that one, perhaps.
No, the user registration is kind of, it's very simple, and there is a module for it. There is a register login module, but if, for example, the big question, Greg, is why do you want people to log in? Why are they registering? And so just go to the module editor.
So if they were to register for, let's say it's a business listing.
Okay, so there you would want to use the directory form rather, because there's a whole lot of extra fields that they would be filling in. It's not just because a simple user registration, right? So,
Bless you. I've got a question that also from George. When you've created your site, example Redshift /training, can you change the URL to something else? For example, Redshift /cucumbers. That's a very good question.
No, you can't change that. That's one thing you can't change after you've set up the website. So yeah, the / part is set when you create the website, and we'll show you that process also at the end. But that is very important. Greg, thanks for highlighting that. You're not able to change this part. What you are able to do with one of our developer accounts or most of our accounts is to actually add a custom URL, right? So what you will find in the back end,
so then it actually doesn't matter what you've called it.
Well, yeah, if you use a custom domain, it doesn't matter what you've called your website, because after that, it's going to start using your custom domain.
Yeah.
So there's a link called account at the bottom left here. And here you will find, if you have one of the accounts that allows for a custom domain, you can add in a custom domain. You can set a custom domain. We also sell domains as well, which we will then automatically map Redshift website. So we have a link at the top here that says buy domain, and you can come in here and you can check your domain. This is a domain checker. So so I want the domain widgets.com, for example. If I just put in widgets, it's going to give me, well, what's available and what's not available. And anything that's available, obviously, I get an option to order now. And that'll just take you through an order process. And that'll allow you to create basically a custom, yeah. So your website, so that'll get rid of the redshift.site/training part. So your custom domain will replace all of this, right? So that's the only way really to change the / part of it. Well, just change your domain in any way after you set up your website. What was the other question? Was login. So there is a basic login form in module in Divi, but like I said, if you're doing it for the Greg's talking about, just to bring everyone else up to speed, right? So you get plugins, which is what I said is how you add extra functionality to your website, right? Ninja Forms and Rank Math are both plugins that are activated when you create your website, right, by default. But you also have, for example, the forums, which are exactly like the forums on our site. And Greg is talking about GeoDirectory. So the directory allows you to add directory listings for people. So there you actually want people to register into the directory. The directory will have its own register kind of form, and you'll use that. Yeah.
And then you the second part of his question he's asking now is he wants to create a super user type of account so that the listing inputs can be vetted first. Not any Joe Soap can enter a listing. That is again a setting in the directory listing tool.
Yeah, that'll be a permissions in the directory setting. But also, if you wanted to add other super users, so if other people are going to be using the system, other administrators on your website, you do get the option to do that if you come to users and add new in the back end here, right? I can add a new user and I can actually make them an administrator. I can give them the same permissions as myself. All right. A subscriber is just in terms of user permissions, a subscriber is if someone registers on your website, this is the basic permission they will be given as a subscriber. Contributor is allowed to write posts, but not publish. Author can write and publish. Editor can write and publish, but it can edit anyone else's posts as well. An administrator obviously gets access to all that. The other bits and pieces, the forms and the SEO tools and directories, etc., etc. So yeah, you can add users if there are going to be people helping you on the back end of your website as well. And this is where you would do that. More questions? Any more questions, John?
It just says, okay, that answers the question, so we can carry on with the front end there.
Well, actually, I mean, that's basically it on the, oh, sorry, so front end, yes, sorry. More fine-grained controls and mobile, et cetera, et cetera. So, right, this is the front end builder, which we started off with having a look at. Now, as I roll around, you'll see that there's different colors and bits and bobs popping up all over the place, right? So the way it's working is that this blue bit is the section that encompasses everything. Now, within each section, you would have a row which will have columns. All right. So this one, as you can see, has got a double column structure, and I can change it quite easily over here. The other little icons that you'll find here and all over on sections, rows, and then these gray ones are the actual modules themselves, right? And that's how you add functionality within Divi, is by adding modules. Wherever you see this little plus button, you can add a new module, and that's where you'll see the choice of modules that you get. And those modules are really like amazing. There's huge variety of modules to do all kinds of modern kind of website look and feel kind of stuff. And you don't need to know how to code to use any of this kind of functionality. And this is truly the power of Divi. It's made this available to anyone without having to code, right? So I'm just going to go and show you on an existing module. So this is just a normal text, and that's a blurb module. Call to action. Okay, so the call to action has got a heading, it's got a button. If I wanted to change the button text, it's as simply as just, you know, typing in here, click me. Here's the general paragraph text. Here's how you add a link, right? In this case, it's an anchor link, which is linking to a CSS ID called top. But you'll see that in the link, I can either just paste in a link here if I want, if I know my link. So if I've gone to the front end, you know, I've copied a link and I want to paste it in. But if I want to link to something on my website, here on the right-hand side, you'll see there's a little icon that says use dynamic content. That's how I can link to anything on my website. So if I go to, for example, page link, that would then give me a list of, okay, I don't have any pages. Therein lies the problem. So, all right, I only have one page on the website at the moment. So let me just quickly add another one. Pages you add quickly in the back end. So about us. Just publish. Just so that I've got some pages. All right, so also creating pages doesn't add them to your menu. I'll need to show you how to do that in 1 second as well. I just want to refresh this. Right, so back here to this module. This is my button, but if I wanted to change that link, right, dynamic content, page link. Now I can select any of those pages that I put in. So if I wanted to click it, link it to the About Us page, it's as simple as selecting the About Us page and saving that. All right, new window, etc., etc. All right. So, but now this is the content that is in this call to action module, right? The power of this of Divi really comes in the design section. So this will allow you to edit any section of this module, the text, with fine-grained control and all sorts of control. The title text, you know, should it be an H2? Should it be an H1? What size is it? Should you align it center? If you want to align it center, you just click a button here. Do you want to make it all uppercase, underline it, strike through? The options are incredible, you know. And what size do you want to make the text? Okay, I want to make it 45 pixels. But 45 pixels is going to be too big for mobile. So again, once I've edited a size, like the text size here, when I scroll over it, you'll see that these extra little bits pop up. And the first one here is a mobile settings one, right? That allows me to do fine-grained settings. So for tablet, I can make this, instead of 45, this could be, for example, 38 pixels. And phone, that's still too big. I want to make it a little bit smaller for phone as well. So that's 34 pixels, right? And I can actually move this aside, make it smaller too, and move it aside so that I can see in real time what my heading size is going to look like over here, right? And that's how literally anyone can be a mobile designer without even knowing how to design for mobile or write mobile code. And there's much more, sorry, there is much more in the design section. So Why have you done this? There we go. Okay, so title text, body text, button. I can edit every part of that button. You know what I mean? Just changing the background. If I wanted to change the background to red, I can literally just click on it there and change it to red. Every aspect of the button is editable here. And of course, you can even do mobile specific styling for your button. It's that simple. You can add a little background to it. Let's add a background to this one, just a shadow behind it. All right, sizing, spacing. You can set your spacing by just simply putting in a value here, and that'll create padding or margin around. So without having to know how to write CSS, you can do all of these things. There's a lot more that I'll let you play with along the way. The fun one right at the bottom is the animation one as well. Obviously, once you choose an animation, you'll get a bunch of animation settings as well, speed settings, and kind of curve that you want to do. Do you repeat it or not, etc. So each animation has its own kind of settings, and again, I'll let you play with all of those. And obviously, once you're happy, all right, there's also an advanced tab as well. This is where you can put in custom CSS IDs and classes for those who know how to write CSS. The visibility is a very useful function as well. This is how you can have modules on on your phone and tablet, but not on desktop, or on desktop, but not on phone and tablet. So that's how you can hide modules, etc., from mobile devices, etc. Transition provision, scroll effects. Again, I'm going to let you play with all of these things. There are lots of fun things. There's little help buttons all over the place as well. If you click on that help, it's going to give you, an introduction to, this case, the call to action module. And so there's built-in help as well. As you can see, my title changed to the red there. It was the title, not the background, that I changed. And obviously, once I'm happy with anything, just to publish it, to remember, click the save button here at the bottom right, and that'll apply the changes to my website. And now I can exit the Visual Builder and see, right, this is now actually what it would look like, and it'll link to my About Us page, this button. How to add other pages to the menu, because obviously I've added other pages, but they haven't appeared in the menu here, right? Menu is under Appearance, Menus. That's where you will find, it says menus because by default you've only got one main menu, but there is the option to create a new menu, and you can assign them. You've got 3 menu positions. You've got a secondary menu bar and a footer bar. The secondary menu bar is actually that top bar, this green one, so you can put a menu in there as well. All right, so how to add pages to my main menu. So let's say I wanted to add the Contact Us page. I simply tick on that page and click the Add to Menu button, and you can see that it populates here. It's not published though until I click on Save Menu. When I click on Save Menu, and then refresh on the front end of the site, you will see that I now have a Contact Us link in my main menu, which will go to the Contact Us page, which has nothing on it at this point. So I'm not going to click that. And if I wanted to create a new menu, it's as simple as doing this, top menu, and create that menu. I'm going to put the About Us link into that menu, and I'm going to assign it to the secondary menu position, which is the top bar. In fact, I'm also going to assign it to the footer. You can assign one menu to multiple, or you can create another menu for your footer. But what you'll see now when I refresh the front end of the website is that there'll be an About Us link that's gone to the top here. Well, you probably want to ask me for a bit of CSS to just give you a bit of space there. And there's an About Us link in my footer menu as well that's been created. All right, and that's it in a nutshell, how to build websites. Just to remind you that how to access the visual builder. So, for example, I've created a new page, like the contact us page. If I open it up on the back end like this, you saw me create the page. There's nothing here. It's the normal WordPress builder. If I click on use the Divi builder, that's where the Divi builder is now going to replace the default kind of WordPress builder. And when I do that, you'll see that I get these three options: build from scratch, choose a pre-made layout, or clone an existing page. Clone an existing page is obviously useful once you've got a style and type of page going that you want to use. But the pre-made layout is also a great way to get you started really, really quickly. I was using the cosmetics shop, and this is the contact us page, and I'm going to use this layout. Now there, it didn't give me the option to replace the existing content because there is no existing content, right?
We had a question while we were covering off the additional pages. Greg wanted to know how to edit how to hide the primary and secondary menus entirely. So when we go back to the navigation or the theme settings, if we can cover that.
Okay. So the way to all right, I'll break it down into two bits for that. So that was just to show you how it is to, and that's on the back end. If you want to use the Divi builder, it's here on the back end. It's a bit, I prefer this layout. It's kind of, for me, it's easier to kind of find the stuff that I want to edit, but a lot of people prefer the front end builder. So when you're on the back end like this, you'll also see a button that says build on the front end. If you prefer the front end, then you're more than welcome to just click on that button, and that'll reload your page in that visual builder that I've been showing you. There you go. This is our contact us page, and yeah, obviously you'd want to put in your contact details, etc., and then click on save when you're happy. Save, and I can exit the visual builder. All right, and there's that contact us page, as it would look to anyone viewing my website. So sorry, repeat that question again, John. Get rid of the top menu and the main menu. Okay.
Yeah, so getting rid of the primary and secondary menu bars.
All right, so for that I need to be in my dashboard, in fact, specifically. So let me break it down into two. The top bar, this secondary menu bar, the way to get rid of that is to actually get rid of everything in there, right? So that comes down to the theme options. I've got all of these turned on, and I can turn off all of the social media stuff. So that gets rid of that. And I just need to save that. Then we assigned a menu there as well. Appearance, menus. Just take it out of the top menu. I can leave it in the footer. And then what else is in there? Oh, those little things. So that's in appearance, customize. Those are the little extras that I mentioned in the header. So no, in the header elements, delete the phone number, delete the email address. So now I've gotten rid of everything in the green bar. And when I click on publish, it still shows it here. But if I reload my site here on the front end, you'll see that my green bar is gone. And it's not. That's really weird.
In the secondary menu, maybe you need to just...
No, if you see that I didn't untick the social icons thing.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah. because I should leave them on in the menu if I want to keep them in my footer. So that's got rid of the top menu. The main menu, you really actually can't get rid of. I mean, I can give you CSS to get rid of it if you really, 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 really want to get rid of it. But you do have a couple of menu options. So there's the vertical navigation option. There's the centered option, where it centers your logo and puts your navigation down below it. There's the centered inline, where it puts your logo inline and centers. So these are different kind of, and this is quite a hidden one, Greg, the slide in option, where you just have the permanent hamburger option. And when you click on that, your menu slides in on the right-hand side. So that's quite a nice hidden menu. And you can still keep it there because, you know, when you scroll, you can have this floating menu bar, right? So that it stays persistent. So that's quite a nice hidden one. The full screen is similar, except when it slides in across the whole screen, right? Like that. Okay. Also quite nice.
You can also make that menu transparent. I presume if people wanted to hide the logo or take the logo out or make the menu, that layer transparent.
The main menu, yes, you can make that layer transparent. Of course, the primary menu bar has its background color, which at the moment is white, but here's my transparency slider, and I can just slide this to wherever I want. If I want to completely transparent, obviously I can go all the way down to the bottom. Now you can see it's just floating there. I used a JPEG with a white background, so that background's actually on the image. If you wanted to do this, obviously use a PNG that's got no background for your logo image. Right?
I think that gives people a few options. I think, you know, playing with those settings, you know, changing your menu to a hamburger type of layout, removing the logo will give you a degree of hiding everything, cleaning up the site quite considerably. As Doug says, if you're looking for custom CSS, just pop it in the forum and he'll answer you there.
Yeah, because there's a few things that can't be achieved with custom CSS. So once you've exhausted all your other options, you go, geez, I really don't know how to do this. Please come and put it on the forum. Come and ask me on the forum, and I promise you, I'll give you the CSS. I don't mind writing CSS and giving it to you. If I give it to you in the forum, I just want to show you here quickly again where to write that CSS. So if I give you CSS to copy and paste, there's actually channel settings. Not here. Okay, it's in the menu. In the main Divi settings. All right, so Divi theme options, and on the main theme page, right at the bottom, there's this custom CSS box. So whatever I give you in the forum, you would just literally copy it, come and go onto a new line, and just paste it in here, and click the save button, obviously down the bottom, and that's gonna solve most of your problems. I can solve a lot of problems like that really quickly.
Question from Alex, who wants to add captions onto her images that the general public can see in her gallery. That presumably is handled through the media library.
Yeah, on each. Well, actually, it's in the gallery module. So when you're adding images in the gallery, I'm just going to do that quickly because it's easier to show. So let's go here. All right. So if you wanted to add a caption, there is the option of typing it in here as the caption. And also I would suggest you put in the alt text as well. This is, alt text is what Google reads. And obviously if the image doesn't load, it'll load this text. So it's a good way to yeah, some people on their phones might have images turned off if they're trying to save data. So it's a good way to still explain what's in that space, which will then be blank on their phone. The alt text will still come up. The caption can be specifically handled in the design. You'll see here there's caption text. So if you fill in the caption on all of those images, and then you come here into the design section of this gallery module and come to the caption text part, then you can style that text according to how you want it to come up and look on your gallery. But yeah, that's where you add it. I hope that answers your question.
I had a question yesterday from somebody. How do they delete their site if they wanted to start over?
Okay. There is a way. Someone did it yesterday. Greg did it yesterday. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, in your account section, so bottom left, there's a link to account, and there is a delete account in account actions here, and that will basically delete the account. It's really easy to create an account. Shall I quickly show people how to create an account? I suppose once you've deleted.
Yeah, so do that, but we'll cover the deleting sites from multiple accounts. I think, yeah, I helped Greg with the query yesterday, so we just need to
okay,
just make that a bit easier to find there.
Cool. All right, so I'm thinking of doing it. Yeah. All right, so our website, obviously, for those who haven't seen it yet, and if you come down, you'll find our pricing. John and I have been working on the pricing. You will find that, as he was saying at the beginning, we have single website packages which are designed for like a single business that's going to grow and grow and grow over the years. And we have multiple website packages, which is designed for people who are making a bit of a business out of this and building websites for other people. You know, we've got packages that go, well, even bigger than this. When you get there, it's, yeah, chat to us. But to start off with, choose whichever one you like, and you'll find a Let's Build button at the bottom of each package. Once you've chosen the package that suits you, then you just click on the Let's Build button. But obviously I'm logged in, so it's not going to like this. Yeah. I just need to log out here. Okay. So now if I click on that Let's Build button, it'll take me through to the sign up process. The first thing it's going to ask me is my site title. This can be anything you like. This is literally just a title for you, and it is going to come up, obviously, when someone comes to your website and it shows that the site title, right? That's where it comes up. When they roll over it, they're gonna see this site title, right? But what you put in here, the URL bit, is going to be the /. It's going to be the your site part of this URL, redshift.site / your site. So whatever I start typing in here, like training, it then starts populating here. If I try to create this, obviously it's going to bounce me because I've already got a site called training. So it's going to say, no, you need something unique. Training 2. Oh, this is the text version, so I can do it like that. What has the URL obviously has to be a single word as well. You can't have a space in here as well. And when you're happy with what you've got, You can continue. Remember, this cannot be changed. Greg did ask the question earlier. And then the last step is obviously to select a username, put in your email address, your password. If you've got a coupon code, you can put it in here, and you have to agree to our terms of service and create account. Once you create account, the next step is going to be basically the login page, which looks like this. And let's see if I can remember. And when you log in, the first page you're going to see is this dashboard. You're going to land on this dashboard when you log into the backend. Remember that this is the backend dashboard, right? This is where you can control all sorts of bits and pieces of your website and see your account details, etc. And even when it comes down to it, making payments as well, it'll happen. You get links here in the backend that you're able to. You'll see here, pay via PayFast. It'll take you to PayFast, our payment gateway, where you can make a payment to activate your account. Yeah. John, anything more?
All right, so Greg's got a follow-up question, and the reason he needed his site deleted was he deleted the default site landing page, the front page, in the page listing. And when he created a new front page, he couldn't find where to set that page as the default front page. Site's navigation.
Oh, well, geez, Greg, you didn't have to recreate a site for that, Pre. Sorry to tell you this now. That's under settings, reading. Settings reading is where you select your home page. And if you want to select a post page as well, you can select a post page as well. The other option is, you'll see here your latest posts. That means your home page will literally work like a blog. So if you specifically, I mean, this is like a hangover from the old WordPress blogging days, and where WordPress literally was designed for blogs. But then they came in and they put this option here where you can choose a static page, right? And that static page, when I choose that, I can select any of the existing pages. Remember, I created the About Us and Contact Us page as well. When you spin up the website, by default, there's a welcome page there. But like I say, you can go and create a new page and just change that to the main page, as it were, and hit Save Changes. And then, all right, this should be training. And then if I go to the front end of the website, the training part, right, now you'll see it's that contact page, not the home page, because I changed that to the Contact Us. If I change it back to the welcome, and that's still on this URL, and I refresh, you'll see that it changes to my home page. There you go. So that's how you edit the home page, which, yeah, under settings and reading. Any more questions, John?
No more questions. Are there any more questions? Just pop them into the chat and we can just start winding up. I know we're approaching the end of time here.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a side note for everybody. We are in the process of getting videos made. They will be available on the site. These videos will be short, probably 3 to 5 minutes maximum, and they'll cover off features like how to change your logo, how to make the menu bars, how to customize them, how to make them disappear, how to take certain things out, how do certain front-end elements work. And the idea is to build up a library of this training material so that you don't have to, sit through a long webinar waiting for the answer that you're looking for. Of course, there's the option of the forum. We are building up a knowledge base there, so we encourage you to use that, because that will allow us to draw up a frequently asked questions list. And then also, the forum is a great reference for other people have had other issues in the past. So, you might find the answer to your question has already been asked there. Any questions? What I'll do is we will follow this up. Those of you that have attended today, I'll follow this up. We'll just pop the recording of this session into a mail, and yeah, you can have it for ease of reference. But I hope that you found it useful, and I hope that you got something out of this.
Yeah, from my side as well. Thank you very much, everyone, for spending this time with us to have a look at this. Don't hesitate to ask questions in the forum. If it takes me a little while to answer, it's because there's only one of me, firstly, and secondly, sometimes it takes a little while to work out the correct answer. Again, another little note on forum posting: you can include screenshots on forum posts. So that really helps me a lot. Greg, thank you for putting screenshots. It really helps to see what's happening on your screen, so I know exactly what you're talking about, what module you're talking about, or also give me URLs as well. Like so if you're talking about, this page on training, or if you're talking about the contact us page on your website training, then come to the contact us page on the front end and copy this URL here at the top and paste that into the forum post as well, because it really just helps me to know exactly which page we're talking about. And yes, I can access your websites and have a look, see exactly what you've done on every page as well. I do have that kind of access. I won't break anything, promise.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thanks, guys. And yeah, happy building.
Cheers. Goodbye.
Bye.